morning, guys. It's 12 p.m. It's 2 p.m. I'm here with my best friend, Good Meredith. Well, Mary and I have really bad sleep schedules when we're together and apart, but when we're together, we go to bed way past 2 and wake up way past noon. We're gonna do swapping screen time for book time, and we're gonna go read at a coffee shop till they close. Unfortunately, it's 2 p.m., so they're probably gonna close at 4, but...
And because I live where I live,
right,
it's the coffee shops that are good are like 40 minutes away. So
normally people do this for a week long. We unfortunately can't do that. That's not true. Get your weekly...
It literally just updated as I...
You know what's kind of annoying though? My weekly average having like 3 hours of map time. My average for last week was 6 hours and 7 minutes.
And mine is 6 hours and 31 minutes.
So we are going to cook. Like, look how good that one was. 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, 11 hours on TikTok.
The plan, go to a coffee shop, read until we swap our screen time, basically, for the day.
Yeah.
You're actually propped up on the book I'm gonna read, but I want to read Funny Story by
By who?
Emily Henry. It takes place in Michigan, and I'm in Michigan, so...
Woo! Go Blue. I'm gonna finish You're Also Propped Up on It.
We need to show them.
Just for the Summer by
Abby Jimenez.
Exactly. I'm gonna finish that, and then I'm gonna read either this one or this one.
My problem is I enjoy books so much that once I start it, I don't want to stop, but then I actually stop to use my phone and go on Instagram and TikTok, and I just drop my phone. So this is supposed to reset my brain.
Right.
In one day.
In one day.
And it will.
Exactly.
So, let's head on over to the coffee shop. I have 5 hours and 57 minutes left, which means I read for 10 minutes, and I'm really particular with coffee shop milks that they use because some of them, like Oatly, that whole brand is so disgusting to me, so I just can't get oat milk from there. But I've been having to not drink dairy, so I haven't been able to get whole milk either. So we're gonna go to a new coffee shop. Mare's making a coffee video as well, so I did read the first chapter, and it is so fun when a book starts in like the same place that you are currently in. Like, I'm in Michigan, but then the first day is May 1st, Wednesday.
What?
So it's set in May right now. I did not read this, but what I'm picking up is the main character, Daphne, is in a relationship with a man named Peter, and they're about to get married, and he calls off their marriage to be with his childhood best friend that was always platonic. And now Daphne had to move out of her shared apartment with Peter, her ex-fiance. Daphne now lives with Petra, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Petra, ex-boyfriend, because she needed to move out of her shared apartment with Peter. Now she lives, it's like the two exes live together now, and we're getting the story. Like, what's going on, I don't know. So good so far. One chapter in and I'm eating it up.
Wait, where in Michigan does it take place?
Should we see how far it is? Waning Bay, Michigan. Should we look?
Yeah, look that up.
Wait, Waning Bay isn't a real place. Anyway.
Put some respect.
But we're in Michigan, so. Coffee shop number 2, 10 minutes down. Let's go. We're at our second coffee shop.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore.
I don't know if you can hear me because the music is so loud in here. But this is our third coffee shop today. I've personally read for 30 minutes. The issue is the book is so good, so I have no reason to not want to be reading right now. We just have been restless, maybe? What's going on with us? I'm obsessed with the book. It moves at such a fast pace. I'm not bored, even for one little second. I'm only 24 pages in, so.
I don't know.
After an hour drive back, finally eating food after 3 coffees, we have only gotten 1 hour down. That's that we actually are not scrolling on our phones either. We are just genuinely not concentrating on sitting down and reading. But everything changes as the clock strikes 8 p.m. If we don't stop reading until I'm done, I will be done after 1 in the morning, which we will be finishing the challenge today. I'm on page 55. There's not much for me to tell you other than Daphne, as I talked about her. The storyline is very rom-com-esque. Like, what you think is gonna happen is what happens, but I'm not mad about that. Like, I feel very excited to read. I told Meredith as we were walking that it feels like I'm watching a show. Like, I feel like I'm watching a rom-com almost, but in like a show form, the way the chapters are organized, and the dialogue is so good. It's witty, it's catching my attention. I'm enjoying it a lot. Put my comfy cozies on. Time to get back into it. We've got our timer. This is one of my favorite Olipop flavors.
I had to come home and we literally don't know what I'm doing right now. I've had 3 coffees. I didn't even finish all 3. And I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Every good readathon needs a outfit.
Every good readathon needs an outfit that doesn't match. The words are really close together.
How can I get through to you? Oh, tell me. How can I get through to you? How can I get through to you?
Just under 3.5 hours left. I think my attention span is so small these days and I'm learning to grow it, but I haven't read a book in over a month, so I am trudging through. I've also just been out in like at coffee shops or just with Mare's family, so it's so hard for me to read if it's not either dead silent or like classical music playing, so I'm finding myself reading way slower than normal. I'm also so tired right now, which doesn't make sense. It's 10 p.m. I normally go to bed between 12 and 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that would make me going to bed around 3 to 5 Eastern Time in Michigan, so I don't know why I'm so tired. It's literally 7 p.m. in California. I'm on chapter 11, page 116. So far, I'm enjoying this book so much. I really don't have much to update you on. Honestly, the tropes here are really hitting. I love the dialogue. I love that it's only from Daphne's POV. I feel like it keeps the writing really cohesive. I can see this being a 5-star so far, but I'm only 100 pages in, so I'm like 25% through with the book. I also took the cover off because it was bothering me so much. It wasn't staying still. I think this is the cutest book. It's like holographic blue and pink. Ooh, 3 hours left to go. We're about to make cookies. We're on our cookie break.
I feel like you've had like 27 breaks. Sunset break, cookie break, coffee break, parent break.
I'm currently in the middle of chapter 12. Meredith is not enjoying her book.
Yeah, I'm pretending to read right now. Needed.
Oh my gosh, I just cracked my spine.
All right, well, you guys enjoy your readathon. I'm sure it's
you.
going to be amazing. You can read the same page for 5 hours.
Oh my goodness. Time to make cookies. By make, I mean this.
Okay, that's making cookies. That's how you.
From scratch. Dairy-free, gluten-free.
Okay, guys. If you Brie, this is for the Brie rats that are watching. If you're from my channel, say what's up. They're literally not cooked. Let us know the next video you want us to do.
As if we're finished. We have 3 hours left.
I don't really enjoy this book. Because look at that, looks like it's in my head right now.
I have an hour and 18 minutes left. What do you have?
An hour 42?
Okay, what is crazy though is it's 12:30 and we're like, dang, we just want to go to bed. Fully knowing if we didn't have to read right now, we would just be scrolling together in bed.
I don't want to go to bed. I just don't want to read.
I don't think I've ever read this slow in my life. okay, I hate to be controversial. I feel like so many books follow this premise where like an engagement, something breaks off and then the person finds themselves in like a fake dating situation and then they actually fall in love again. Like that's the premise of literally every rom-com ever. But why does that like tick me off a little bit? Like it just doesn't make sense. You're engaged to another human being and then you're falling in love like a month after that. Like
They take them so lightly.
yes,
It's not a light matter to be taken lightly.
it's a crazy thing.
Like, you're telling me that you're gonna screw up your whole engagement because of a boy when you were 16?
No. I just picked a random timer. That was a crazy sound. I did it. I do have 1 page left of the chapter I'm on, so I am gonna surpass my screen time for today and finish this really quick. It's so late and I'm so tired, but I can't just have 1 page left of a chapter. I am officially on chapter 23, page 244. It took me 6 hours to read 244 pages. I read more than half of the book, which is awesome. I almost want to try to finish it tomorrow. Okay, I do feel like it's reminding me of the 7-year slip where there's almost just too much going on right here, and as much as I love the dialogue, love the scenery that's being set, I just feel like we can move forward in the story and we're not. Let's go check on Mare. She has like 15-20 more minutes than me.
Fighting for my life out here.
How much longer?
Dude, I don't even want to know. 20 minutes.
I'll read with you for a little longer.
Pity read.
Good night, BookTube. Okay, I didn't finish this book during our trading screen time for reading time. So I'm trying to finish today because we're gonna go to a lake tomorrow and I think it'd be fun to start a new book there. So. Hello? I just pulled the cover off because it's so freaking annoying how it flops up and down. I just audibly gasped at what I'm reading right now and I never gasp out loud and it fully just exited my mouth involuntarily. That was crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I need to read faster. Okay, not gonna lie, the middle of this book was getting a little bit boring and repetitive for me, but it just redeemed itself. You can't hate me if I'm wearing one of these. Okay, I finished Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is actually my first Emily Henry book that I finished front to back. I always read them halfway. Happy Place, I read like a third of it.
What?
Yeah, I
Why?
never finished it. Because I read it on my flight from London and I never touched it again. But it was really good, I just didn't touch it again. I guess I'll start with my rating. I think I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5.
That's absurd.
It's not a bad rating, it's just, I can't say this was up there as a favorite book of mine at all. I think the amount of hype that her books get made me feel like this was no doubt going to be at least a 4.5. This is Daphne and this is Miles. Daphne's the main girl in the story and she is engaged to a man named Peter. Peter's platonic best friend, Petra, is dating Miles. So Petra and Peter decide that they're actually in love and both break up with Miles and Daphne. Her and Miles become roommates. They really don't get along on a basis outside of being roommates. Like, they don't hang out. Then, essentially, it's a fake dating trope, and that's how the story flows. The thing I love so much about this book and this writing is the dialogue and the banter. I found myself giggling a little bit, and I feel like that's actually really hard to do in writing, to make it feel so real. Like, the dialogue is almost like you're watching a show or a movie. So that was my favorite part. I also really loved how Daphne's a librarian and you actually learn so much about her upbringing, her life as a librarian, how much she loves it, how she's moved around. The storyline of her going from this woman who finds her identity in her relationships to finding independence and individuality in herself was so good, and the literary fiction side of this book I feel like I really appreciated. The romance I just did not like at all. I feel like I do not know the main guy, Miles. I feel like the only thing I know about him is that he's very liked by people. Other than that, I know nothing about this man. And his sister is a sub character in here. I feel like I understand her personality and who she is so much more than him. So I just feel like it's hard to connect to the romance because I feel so disconnected from the main man in the story. Also, the way her ex-fiance Peter is physically described was really funny to me because it's literally my boyfriend, like a tall blonde man with green eyes. So maybe I just resonated with Peter aesthetically more than Miles, but hey. Last thing, which is why it's such a lower rating, I guess, is I feel like the plot line, the storyline was super predictable for me. I gasped during certain parts towards the end, but it was things I predicted at the beginning. I was just waiting for them to happen. So, I don't know. There was just not an element of like, I'm so sad that I finished this book. I was excited to be done with it. Also, for those that care, it is pretty spicy. I don't read the spice scenes, I skip over them, but there are like 3 or 4. So, other than that, the scenery being in Michigan while I'm in Michigan, I feel like that was really fun for me, a fun little element to read, and definitely gives like small town vibes, which is always a fun spring summer vibe. And I loved that it took place over 4 or 5 months. Like, that's just fun to follow the storyline of the summer. I will say, swapping my screen time for reading time for a day was very convicting, sobering of how much time I can spend on my phone on an average day. It feels like I'm wasting my life away by doing that, and I just want to be so much better at not being on my phone all the time. Even scrolling at night, it's so bad for your sleep because it messes with your melatonin, and I know that, but I don't do anything about it, and I want to start doing something about that. So it was a great challenge nonetheless, pretty difficult because I was trudging through. We made it, and the next book I'm going to read is Emily Henry again. So it hasn't stirred me away from reading her books. I'm excited to read more because I want to understand why this is a lot of people's favorite author. So thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Love you, Pookies.